There is a way for you to have an unfair advantage in the dating scene as a man, where women easily like you. They easily want to be with you. And other guys have to put in a lot of effort, and they have to struggle through it to hopefully get a phone number or to get a date or to keep a woman interested when they start dating. Whereas you're able to do it so easily. So what is that way? Well, first I want to point out that although a woman can feel attracted to a man's looks and what he does for a living, what I'm going to share with you now has nothing to do with that. Right? This is an unfair advantage that you can have without having to improve your physical appearance or to become more successful in life. You can start getting results now. And a way to explain it is for you to imagine a pair of twins, right? So there are two men who are identical twins, and they are the same height, they look the same, and they have the same job. But one of them knows how to attract women by flirting with women during interactions, and the other twin doesn't. The other twin talks to women in a more neutral way. He tries to get along with women. He tries to get to know them and find things in common to hopefully get to the point where the woman then likes him and wants something more. Yet the other twin doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to go to all that effort, and he's able to get women interested in him immediately. Even though he looks the same, even though he's the same height, and he has the same job, women feel sexually attracted to him immediately and are interested in something happening. So I'll give you some examples in a second, but I'll first point out that I mentioned that the twin knows how to flirt with women during conversations. Now, that is one way to make women feel attracted to you instantly and make them want you sexually, but it's not the only way. There are literally hundreds of ways that you can make women feel attracted to you as you talk to them. So, for example, one of the ways is what I call playfully challenging humor. Now, playfully challenging humor demonstrates confidence. It demonstrates that you're not a needy guy. And it also shows that you're socially intelligent because you're able to come up with something like that. You understand that women feel attracted to that sort of humor and you know how to do it. So imagine that one of the twins is talking to a woman in person at a bar or an event of some sort. And she's got a dress on that she bought especially for the night. And she mentions that as they're talking. She talks about her dress and mentions that she got it especially for the night. If the twin doesn't know how to make women feel attracted to him during a conversation, he might say something like, "Oh yeah, it's a really nice dress. Where did you get it from?" And essentially, he's just trying to get along with her. Right? He's just trying to have a nice conversation with her. "Oh, it's a nice dress. Where did you get it from?" Then he might ask her what fabric it is and if she likes that particular brand and does she like to dress up often and so forth. He's trying to get along with her. He's trying to show her that he's a really good guy, and he hopes that she will then eventually like him enough to give her phone number or maybe kiss him that night or maybe even have sex with him that night. But from her perspective, she feels more like she's just talking to a coworker, a friend, or even a cousin, something like that, right? There's no sexual spark there. So what could the twin have said instead to make her feel attracted? Well, as I said, there's one way to make her feel attracted, which is to flirt with her. Another is to use playfully challenging humor, and another is to be just charming and confident. So I'll give you an example of playfully challenging humor in a second, but first, just charming and confident, right? That's going to be more attractive than just being nice. So she said that she got a new dress and she bought it especially for the night. And he then looks her up and down confidently and says, "Well, you look stunning in it." She then feels more attracted to him because he's being confident. And there's actually some subtle flirting going on there as well. Right? So a lot of guys don't understand that flirting is when you show attraction for a woman, but you just do it in a playful, easygoing sort of way, right? So if a guy was showing attraction or interest in a woman in a very serious way, he'd be saying things like, "Oh, that dress looks really nice on you. I mean, you're very pretty. I mean, do you have a boyfriend?" Right? So it's very serious. He's asking if she has a boyfriend because he wants to start dating her and have a relationship with her. But flirting is much more subtle and discreet, and it's the language that women prefer when they're talking to men because it doesn't put them in a situation where they're pressured to make a decision on the spot, right? So if a guy says, "Oh, you look very pretty in that dress," and you're very beautiful. I mean, do you have a boyfriend, or what sort of guy do you like, and so forth? She then feels put on the spot because the conversation is essentially going towards, do you want to be boyfriend and girlfriend? I really like you in that way already, and I'm already communicating that I want to have a relationship with you. Do you want that as well? And she basically has to signal yes or no in terms of her interest in that. And most women definitely don't want to do that. They don't want to seem too keen and easy right away and immediately say, yes, I'm interested in a relationship. And they also want to interact with the guy a bit more and feel attracted to him. And more importantly, see that there is a sexual connection between him and her. Because if it's going to be a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship or a husband and wife relationship, in order for it to work, there needs to be a sexual connection. And if it's just, oh, that's a really nice dress, and oh, you look very beautiful. Yeah, so do you have a boyfriend? There's no mutual sexual connection there. It's just him feeling attracted to her and going straight for the kill. Whereas if a guy looks the woman up and down confidently and says, well, you look stunning in it, he's showing some attraction for her, but he's not asking for anything in return. He's not asking for a date. He's not asking to become her boyfriend, and so on. It's a subtle display of interest in her, and she can then display subtle interest back in him by giving him a flirtatious smile, by playing with her hair or playing with her necklace and showing him that she's feeling a bit girly and giddy around him. So I'll give you another couple of examples now, but can you see that there is a big difference already in terms of how the guy's coming across, how it's making the woman feel, and then what sort of advantage that gives him in the dating scene, right? If he's interacting with women and he's just trying to get along with them, then he's got a huge uphill battle ahead of him, right? It's trying to get to know her, find things in common, not put a foot wrong when he's talking about things, and keep talking and talking and talking, and hopefully it'll get to a point where something just magically happens, right? He's got a huge uphill battle ahead of him, but when a guy knows how to attract women right away, it happens right away, right? The woman feels that feeling in her stomach. She gets those butterflies in her stomach. She starts to feel giddy. She starts to feel girly. She starts to feel turned on. And it's the same looking guy, right? It's the same type of look. He has the same look, the same height, the same job as his twin brother, but he knows how to flirt with women. He knows how to make them feel attracted. So the next example is being charming, confident, and funny, and not using playfully challenging humor, just being funny in general. But because he's being charming and confident, it then is so much funnier to the woman and so much more attractive and appealing. So, for example, he looks her up and down confidently, says, well, you look stunning in it. If I wasn't married, I'd definitely ask for your phone number. So she then gets the shock factor of the joke where she's interacting with him and he seems like he's a single guy, and he is, right? He's only saying that as a joke that he's married, and if he wasn't, he'd get her phone number. So it catches her off guard and she feels a bit shocked in the moment. And a lot of guys are afraid to say something like that because then they think, well, the woman's going to think I'm married. She's not going to want to give me her phone number. She's going to think I'm, just going to have sex with her on the side and so forth. She's going to get uptight and maybe a bit angry that I'm bringing that up, and she might seem annoyed and so forth. So what do? They just try to play it safe. And, oh, that's a really nice dress. Where did you get it from? Yet, as you would probably know about life, when you just play it safe in life, you don't really get far, right? If you don't put your hand up to be the one who's going to get promoted or try out for the opportunity to get promoted in whatever you're doing for work, then you usually aren't the one who is pointed out and selected and say, people don't say, hey, come on, you apply for this too. You're great. You're going to get the promotion. That happens sometimes. But in most cases in life, you have to actually have the courage to do something, to go after what you want, to take a chance. And instinctively, women know that guys who play it safe are usually going to be guys that don't get very far. And they also tend to be guys who will potentially be picked on and bullied because people who are not good people, as you may have come across in your life at times, right? When they see someone who is very soft and nice and plays it safe, they see that person as someone to pick on, right? They become a target for bullying. They become a target of jokes. But someone who is a lot more confident and able to handle himself in a social situation tends to give off an air about him where he's not someone that you want to mess with. because he's going to be able to come back with something. He's going to have a comeback. He's going to be able to say something. He's going to be able to stand up for himself in a way where he's not getting into a fight, but he's just able to handle himself during the conversation and not be picked on. Right? So people who are bullies and want to target weaker people, they tend not to mess with people like that. Or if they try, it doesn't work out and then they want to stop because they don't want to look like an idiot. The thing is though, if a guy uses that sort of joke where he says, if I wasn't married, I'd definitely ask for your phone number, women aren't going to get angry about that and walk away from the conversation. Right? They are going to feel shocked and curious to find out if it's true. And if the guy is single and he's saying that, then it's just funny. It's just funny that he was able to say something like that and make them feel shocked in the moment. He had the courage to do it. He had the confidence to do it. He had the social intelligence to come up with something like that rather than just trying to get along with her and ask her about her nice dress. Where did she get it from? Right? Anyone can try to get along with another person and just be nice and use polite conversation. Oh, it's a really nice dress, and what fabric is it? And oh, yeah, red's your color. It really suits you, and so forth. Anyone can talk like that. But pretty much every guy that a woman comes across will not have the confidence, the courage, the balls, the awareness of flirting, the social intelligence to do it, to be able to look her up and down and say, well, you look stunning in it. If I wasn't married, I'd definitely ask for your phone number. Likewise now with the example of playfully challenging humor, this is where you take it a little bit further and you playfully challenge the woman. You playfully mess with her a little bit more and put her on the spot. And notice that I'm saying playfully, right? It's not about being mean towards women and, trying to hurt them and, make them feel bad or anything like that. It's just playfully challenging her, playfully putting her on the spot, playfully making her feel uncomfortable. And women find that very attractive and very funny because you have the balls to do it. And that says a lot about you in terms of your lack of neediness, right? Because most guys, when they talk to a woman that they find attractive, they're trying not to put a foot wrong. I've got to say all the nice things, all the right things, and tell her about all the things I want to achieve, and maybe she'll like me, maybe she'll give me a chance. But when you're a guy who has the confidence, the balls, the courage, the non-neediness to actually playfully challenge her and playfully push her away a little bit, then it shows to her, all right, this guy isn't actually needy. This guy doesn't need me. This guy is so confident, and that must mean that other women like him. Because if other women didn't like him and he wasn't able to attract other women, then he'd be like all these other guys who are hungry and needy and starving for some female attention and affection and approval. Please let me be your boyfriend. They're essentially coming across in that way to the woman, to the point where women are the ones who have an unfair advantage in the dating scene because men give it to them. Right? Most men don't know how to put themselves in a position where the woman is thinking, wow, this guy is making me feel attracted and he seems like he doesn't even need me. I'm going to try to turn on my charms now and try to get him to like me. And what happens when she does that? She puts herself in the position where she's trying to get a chance with you. She's hoping to get approved by you. She's hoping to get selected by you. And only some guys know how to do this. As you would have seen in your life, you would have noticed some guys are able to talk to women and make them instantly start to show interest and try to get a chance. And the guy doesn't always necessarily look that good. Sometimes you might think, I look better than him. And hey, I've got a better job than him. And I dress better than him. I've got a better haircut and so forth. I'm a cooler guy. I'm more intelligent. I've got good intentions. What's she going for this guy for? Well, he's making her feel attracted rather than just trying to get along with her. So the playfully challenging example is where the guy says, oh, so you got it especially for tonight. Okay, yeah. Well, do the offer returns though? Because you might want to give it back. And he then pauses for a moment because she's most likely going to be laughing and she's going to feel shocked in that moment. But he has the balls to do that and he's only playfully saying it. He's not being rude or anything like that. And the woman is going to get it. Women get this. They understand it. And he pauses for a moment and then he says something like this. Just kidding. It's a beautiful dress and you look stunning in it. Come here, do a twirl. And he grabs her hand and gets her to twirl around. So suddenly she's feeling attracted to him in so many different ways. And if you can imagine, both the twins are standing there together, right? So she's looking at both of them. They're identical. But one of them is making her feel sexually attracted and turned on. One of them is making her feel like she wants to impress him. She wants to have more of an interaction with him. Whereas the other, she feels like, oh yeah, he seems nice. And she just basically sees him as another nice guy, another guy who's being really nice to her, and another forgettable guy. And the thing is, being attractive to women isn't about not being nice to them, because being charming is actually making a woman feel attracted to you and treating her well. And another way to say that is you make her feel some attraction and you treat her nicely. Right? So being attractive to women doesn't require a guy to be a bad guy or a bad boy. Even though a bad boy can attract women, and that's one way to do it, there are other ways to do it as well, where you can be charming and confident, or charming, confident, and funny, or you can be charming, confident, and use playfully challenging humor. Right? There are many different ways that you can make women feel attracted to you during a conversation, and that is completely different to just trying to get along with women, like most guys do. So if you want an unfair advantage in the dating scene and you want women to instantly like you and instantly want to be with you, then you must know how to make them feel attracted during a conversation, during an interaction, rather than just trying to get along with them. And the best thing about this, which is actually sad for other guys, is that most guys don't know that this exists. They don't know that it's possible, right? They have no idea that they could have that secret power that they've seen other guys seem to have. Right? They've seen other guys, whether it was at school or a university or at their work or amongst their friends, who just seem to have this certain something with women, but they can't put their finger on it. Like, what is he doing? Right? They don't understand that that guy is displaying personality traits and behaviors that is making the woman feel attracted. He's not just trying to get along with her. And the thing is, there are so many ways that you can make women feel attracted to you during an interaction. And when you know how to do that, you have an unfair advantage in the dating scene, because women suddenly just want to be with you, right? Without you having to improve your physical appearance, get a better job, and so forth. It's just something that happens right now. You start interacting with women in a way that makes them feel attracted to you rather than just trying to get along with them.